Good Wednesday, YouTube modeling community. This is Rusty Rotor with another old builds Wednesday. Like I said before, this week will be two, only because there was one that I kind of wanted to get out there and explain. But next Wednesday it'll be just one. That way we can spend more time on each one. Some of them, you know, I've got a lot of stuff done to them, so it takes a little time to explain them. Like I said before, I am trying to work on getting these videos down within a reasonable time frame, so everybody can sit down and enjoy, you know, 10-15 minute video and go on to the next or whatever they got to do for the day. Fridays I'll keep, you know, as a 30-minute video, or it may go a little over, may go a little under. It just depends. Mondays we'll try to narrow it down too. I want to thank everybody out there, all my subs. You guys are making this channel grow really fast, and I hope for it to keep growing. We haven't even scratched the surface of what I have in my shop and what I got bouncing around up here. So pardon me, I got a little head cold going on, so I'll be scratching my nose and maybe even sneezing. So just bear with me. The first build we're going to show is the one that I entered in an online pro level model contest. It was based on just the engine of the car, and you know, I just, to me, it was so hard to do it, and I slacked on and I finally got it done by the deadline, but it was hard because I'm used to just doing the engine, then I'll do the interior, and then I'll do the body work, and then the body, and, you know, final assembly, and just to focus on one, you know, specific part of that build. It was a real challenge to me, more I think mental than it was you know, the physicalities of it all. It was a very tedious and technical build because of the size. Once you guys see it, you'll know. It is also the car that is in my little entry video. It's the Monogram 41 Willys Pro Street. The kit went together great. I have no issues with the kit, no fitment issues. I did shave the little tabs off the hood so it didn't chip the paint, putting it in place. I did have to modify the hood more because of what I did to the engine. The kit came with a, I don't believe it was a 426 Hemi. I think it was just the Hemi, whatever cubic inch that was. I'm not real knowledgeable about all that stuff. Then again, it's where you go to the purists, and you know, they'll have all the information. I just didn't check facts because I kind of just last minute said, okay, this is what I'm going to do, and you know, just pulled it out of my head, and you know, this is the product of my craziness. It does have a 426 Hemi in it now. Everything you're going to see underneath the hood is probably about 80% scratch built or kit bashed, or you know, custom parts. So let me get you turned around here, and I'm going to readjust me, so I'm going to come out of frame here for a second and get you down here. Okay, we'll scoot her back, get her in frame. Alright, like I said, this is the Monogram 1/25 scale Willys. No modifications to the body other than the hood. And then, like I said, I took the tabs off in order to not screw up the paint job. I'm going to hold this so we can get up here and get closer and get underneath the light. The hardest thing on this was the flames. These are decals. They came with the kit. And I kind of went by the decals for my color theme. So I was like, you know, what can I do that's going to correspond with all these colors on these flames, because they're pretty wild in themselves. And then I thought, well, you know, I want to try a pearl paint job, and that's what I did. So before we get all the detail underneath there, I'll show you what I did. I started off with the Wicked colors, just basic black. That was my base coat. And then I used the pearl silver for my second coat. And then I used the iridescent turquoise. That's the color of this. Yeah, iridescent turquoise. There's the number, 5504 iridescent turquoise. That was my third coat. And each one of these, I laid down probably 4 coats of this. Same way with the pearl silver. And I had to strip it several times through the process because it just wasn't laying right. But then it finally just boom, and it laid, and I was super happy with it. But like I said, 3 or 4 coats of this, and then the pearl turquoise. There's the number, 5303 pearl turquoise Createx. This got 6 coats of this. Real thin coats. Didn't lay it heavy to get that anodized look. And as you can see, I mean, it's a beautiful color. I'm super happy, you know, with the overall. I finished everything else after I did the engine. It has 5 coats of Splash 2K clear. Of course, my get it to focus, my custom tag, little Pro Street badge, tail lights that came with the kit. I just want to hurry and get done. Like I said, this is the one that's supposed to be in the magazine. It's supposed to go in this year. Let me see here real quick. We want to jump away from this. And we're going to move this out of the way real quick. This is the magazine that it will be in. Dedicated Scale Enthusiasts. It was part of the contest, as the divisional winners would get a little spot in the magazine. There's my trophy. And my friend Lee Barrett at Zen Modeling is the one that hosted the contest. You can see my plaque. Pro Division Motor, first place. It wasn't a super huge contest. I mean, I didn't go up against a bunch of people. There was some other really great builds. I deleted the mirrors because I'm constantly flipping these things over, and they just get knocked off and broken anyway, so I opted to leave them off. Plus, it is Pro Street. The only thing he needs is a rear view mirror to look behind him to see who he's beating anyways. So I'll take the hood off here, set it over here. Like I said, this has the 426 Hemi, which it barely fit down in there. The belt cage for the blower belt is scratch built. Does have a real cogged rubber belt. All metal pulleys, or anodized aluminum pulleys. Top and bottom belt are cogged. Electric water pump. The heads are drilled with water hoses or lines going to those. You can see the anodized fitting there going into the cylinder head. It's on each side. Fuel lines are all hand bent, and I just got a little radical on it. That, you know, try to keep them uniformed, and then the bracket comes up behind the blower hat, and there's a fuel gauge. Get up there, you can see. Get it to focus. There we go. I used all Detail Master hex fittings, and then I just painted them with Tamiya clear blue and clear red to get that look. The carbs were painted to match. There's actual linkages on each carb. The throttle bar is red. The linkage going up to the blower hat is also red anodized. There's a return spring with a bracket. You can kind of see all the thing. Every nut and bolt on this thing that was molded in was replaced with photo etch. I mean, every bolt in the front housing to the blower itself, the valve covers, the back plate to the blower, all that has little photo etch bolts on it. And this is getting super blurry, so we're going to try to, there we go, zoom in and stay away from it. Has an MSD distributor, red spark plug wires. I don't like the boots sticking up out of the valve covers on these because they are, you don't really see them in real life. They're sunk down in there. So I did the same thing. I don't know what kit the blower straps, the hold down straps came from. That is my ribbon that I use there. And then there's a plate underneath the carbs that those feed through. And then get around here, there's a fuel pressure gauge coming off there. All anodized fittings. Electric fan, that is plumbed and wired also. Another Mountain Dew bottle for a catch can for the radiator. I scratch built the, I can see I got a little sloppy there with the red anodized, but the butterflies and the rod that those attach to. And those also have the ProTech, what are those things called? Big carburetors from ProTech. That's all I know. I can't remember. There is a name for them, but I can't think of it. Quit this thing bouncing around. And the Detail Masters belt gate. But with the extension of the real aluminum pulleys and everything, it made everything further than what came with this little set. So I had to scratch build all the bridging to hold this blower belt guard, which that was super tedious. Interior, I don't know if we can get in there and see kind of a little bit through the window. It does have a 3D printed shifter. You can kind of see it right there. And it's detail paint, it's two-toned. Turned out really clean, nice. Tachometer, the tack is wired, it runs down through the dash, or up underneath the bottom of the dash. The console is all custom, steering wheel's custom. Like I said, most of that was all, kit bashed, put together. The interior came with the door panels and the seats and everything that you see. And I think it did or it did not come with the console. I can't remember. And then underneath, the frame, everything matches. Has rack and pinion. Has the dual oil filters, or fuel filters, I'm sorry, up underneath. Every bolt head on the transmission pan, the oil pan, those are all photo etched. Going from the oil pan, there's to an oil cooler and catch can. It's like I said, so tight up underneath here you can't see all, unless you're actually looking at it in person, catch all the detail. But the appropriate lines run where they're supposed to. Detail painted exhaust. I don't know if this is considered a 4-link. I guess it is a 4-link suspension with a brace bar. And then just painted the diff to match the body. Kind of keep that show car, pro street look, going. This would not be a daily driver. This would be something just to take and maybe drive to a show, then spend 6 weeks cleaning it for the next one, or trailer it to whatever you're going. But it turned out really great for the finished product. The main focus was just this engine, and there's pictures up on my Instagram. There's a reel out there that shows just the engine by itself, and you can kind of see all the detail. It's just the final connections aren't visible because, of course, it's just the engine. There's hoses and everything that go up through the firewall at the bottom, and it's just a lot of detail. It took me, I think the build was 6 months. It was 3 or 6 months, I can't remember. But it took me all the way up to the night before the deadline to get it done. And then I black panel lined all the seams, door jambs, trunk deck, just to, make it all stand out. But the paint job turned out really, really nice. I think there's 1 or 2 little specks of junk, but they're really, really hard to find and hard to see, so I can't even show you my defects on this one. But it does have a couple little, tiny little flaws, but overall, really clean. So, if you guys really like this stuff, drop it down in the comments. Thumbs up, thumbs down, leave a comment. Subscribe to my channel. It's not costing you nothing. Let's see if we can. Whoa, wrong way. There we go. We'll get back here. So that's my 41 Willys, and like I said, that is also the car that's on my entry. This will go to shows. It's clean enough to go to shows, and the flaws are pretty well hidden. It's not perfect by any means. It could have turned out better, but it did turn out as a beautiful model, and I'm proud of it. And this one will go to, like I said, some shows. I may even take this one down to Acme with me and see how it does. It may not do nothing, but who knows. So, on to bigger and better things. My very first build, 5.5 years ago, that got me back in the hobby. This is an AMT original release, 67, 68 Camaro. I think the original plastic or styrene was either red or beige. I can't remember. Or that tan color. I think it might have been tan. It's just been so long I can't remember. I've had the kit for 30 plus years. Maybe more than about 35 years. I bought it when I was in my late teens, early 20s. It got moved around, packed around. The box got smashed and destroyed. The A-pillars got bent really bad. And, back when I started this up, it was like I didn't have hardly anything like I have now. So I kind of just worked with what I had. It went together super smooth, no fitment issues. There is a lot of flaws on it because, like I said, I was just starting off, learning how to use the Molotov, trying to fix the A-pillars. It just, really, this kit probably should have just been scrapped out, but I built it. It sits in my display case. It's a daily reminder of where I started, and, now I've come to things like this. So I still love this car, so let's get to it. Here she is. She got her first wax and polish job yesterday. It is rattle canned. Get up here and you can kind of see that's the broken A-pillar. The other one's bowed out. It was just so brittle that it was starting to just really get bad, so I just got it to where I could get it and just left it. But overall, if you didn't know and you first glanced at it, you wouldn't have been able to tell. This is painted TS8, Italian red. And as you can see, this was not wet sanded. This was just sprayed right out of the can, no clear coat, and used Tamiya polish. And I finished off with some Carnauba wax, and you can see the shine in it. It's like crazy. It was dull, and I wasn't for sure if I was even going to show it, and I was like, well, I'm going to try to clean this thing up, and lo and behold, she shined up nice. No aftermarket parts on this. I think the only thing I did was another kit I had that was completely destroyed. It had good tires and wheels, and I used those on this. So these are not the tires that came with the car. But, that early 90s look. Some billet wheels. I even polished the wheels up. They shine really nice. Get it up here in the light a little bit. You can kind of see. This is just a daily driver, take to shows type thing. you know, wider tires all the way around. It handles nice, you know, for what it is. I went with a classic black interior, just detail painted. Like I said, no aftermarket anything, no seat belts, no nothing, but just detail painted. And it turned out really nice. You know, it just goes to show, even if you don't have any money and, you know, you got a kid as a gift and said, hey, you know, Johnny, you know, here's something to do for the next few days or weeks or however long it takes you. You can still build something like this. It's just taking your time, you know, practice your paint, then start, you know, lay your paint down on here. I believe it has a small block 350 in it. I built this with no instructions, just out of my head from what I could remember. And I did use the panel line for, you know, dirtying it up a little bit. Exhaust manifolds are rusted. You know, typical, just a little detailed painting here and there. Nothing great. You know, you get close, you can see my Molotov skills then were crap. I missed spots I should have got. I touched when it was wet, and, you know, it just, but overall, it's still a good, clean build. Would I take it to a show? No. Am I showing you guys? Yes, because, you know, I don't want you to ooh and all over everything I do, and I've not always produced, you know, grade A, top shelf, pro division models. You know, I've also built just regular ones that are fairly clean, and I mean, you can see a little orange peel in there, but like I said, I didn't wet sand that out. It has no clear coat. I just, you know, just polished it out and put a coat of wax on it. And even on the real cars, if you got up close, you would see, you know, unless the car's been professionally repainted, you know, for show, but you would see a whole lot of that stuff. And this one didn't. It's only got a few little specks of dirt in it. Not bad at all. But that roof polished out nice. And I could have polished this out more too, but I figured for the first time I'll get it ready to show you guys. I just kind of leave it how it is. Same way, I didn't put the mirrors on it. Underneath, just clean, you know, black chassis, polished aluminum exhaust. I did use some bare metal foil over the mufflers, just to represent like they're new. You just, you know, had a new exhaust put on this car. Duals dump out right behind the tires. Stock suspension. Just everything updated and replaced that needed to be replaced to make the car, you know, cruisable again, drivable. But yet, you know, he could take around to some local shows because it is a clean Camaro. And this is why I always use as reference when, you know, describing a certain era to, you know, focus on. Because this was my first build. After, you know, 22-year break to raise my family and, you know, focus on all that, job, you know, the whole 9 yards. But, you know, just to dig one, it was in the plastic bag, you know, garbage bag, and they were all smashed, and I was like, oh, these are all ruined. And, you know, I started going through everything, all the parts were there except for the tires and wheels for some reason. I don't know what happened to them, but I did have, like I said, another kit that it was destroyed, so it went into the parts box, and I scrapped the tires and wheels off of it. I'm still trying to remember which one it was, but I can't think of it. It might have been, it wasn't the Shazoom. Oh, it was the, it was a little blue Ford with the, came with the trailer. It was a convertible 37, 38 Ford. I can't remember. I think it was Ravello monogram also. But you guys remember, you see it. It's convertible. It's got the little trailer. He comes behind it. That kit, I've been trying to restore it over the years. I've got a pretty good ways on it. I may break that out and show it one day. You know, I don't want to buy a bunch of other kits. The body's solid enough that I can maybe get by with it. Maybe I might end up thrashing it and making it all rusted out. I don't know. But yeah, those are the tires and wheels from that kit. And that was the only thing that I swapped out on this. I think these had the old Camaro Rallies on it. This kit. I have this kit newer, the newer release. I think box art silver with black stripes. But that's going to get Pro Toured. If not nothing else, it'll be resto modded. So there's plans for that one. But I hope you guys enjoy this. You know, I like showing you, like I said, my work. This is me coming out of my comfort zone where I normally wouldn't do this, by joining a club and doing online, online contests, going to shows and entering some of my stuff. And you just got to kind of put yourself out there for good or bad. Like I said, this is one I definitely would not take to a show. If somebody requested they wanted to see it in person, maybe something like that. But I'm not going to put it out on the show table and, compete with it. But it is a nice, clean little Camaro, and I love it. It's sentimental to me. It represents kind of where I started over. And, my skills were better before this one. But, you take 24 years off, whatever it was, and you don't build any models. I did work on some balsa wood airplanes because this is just kind of a side hobby, even though it's still modeling. I've always loved balsa wood airplanes. But then again, life gets in its way, and I never did finish the one that I started. So, but I will be finishing it. And I got a special treat coming next Monday to show you guys from a very generous gentleman. So that's pretty much it for Wednesday. We're way over time. Let you see my ugly face again. If you guys got any questions, drop them down there in the comments. I'll have my email down there. Like I said, you can email me. I've got some updates, hopefully by this Friday. I can make it publicly known. If not, it may be next week. So, you guys stay tuned. Hit that little bell notification for my videos. Spread the word. Spread the love to everybody else out there. I've got a lot of stuff coming for Monday. Monday is starting to pile up pretty good. I got a little mental thought for Monday too, along with the mail call. So we'll see you guys on Friday. I've got a lot of work done on the Gray Stang. I got a little bit work done on the C10. I'm held up. Flames aren't coming, and that's kind of where I'm at. I don't want to go any further with anything else until I relieve all the stress of getting the paint job done. So we'll show you all that though come Friday. So till then, you guys have a safe week. We'll see you on Friday.